I should see if I'll send it to my friend Gina.
Welcome to the Woodshop. Apparently we're live. I'm doing this solo today. I've invited Mike in. So you're getting some snow, Mike.
Yeah, we're supposed to. Oh,
You gotta mute your YouTube.
hold on. I had to shut the sound off YouTube because I didn't have it on before, so I was hearing myself.
Well, I've been working the last couple of days to build my mini frame bottom bars. Look at that. There's a thing of beauty right there. And top bars. And guess what? After I got all these top bars done, I was looking for some staples and I found a box of top bars in my drawer over there. So I didn't
Oh,
have
that
to
you'd
build.
already made?
Yeah, I didn't have to build nearly this many. Oh well, this is what it
You
is,
never
right?
have too many.
Well, I don't know. I'll die with boxes of top bars, so that means I had too many. So
I made enough a couple of years ago to do 500 frames of the minis, and I think I'm down to about maybe 200 now.
I was looking for something. There's something banging around outside. I don't know what.
Maybe it's a polar bear.
I don't know. What's going on? Oh, it's Amazon. It's Amazon. They're supposed to bring that package tomorrow. Not today. Oh well, that's okay.
You're ahead of the game.
I am. Some of these end bars I made, I just forged ahead and made them, and some of them aren't very good.
Now,
Cracked.
little bit of glue and a staple. They're good as
But
can be.
you know what? You are absolutely right about that. I got my waterproof glue right here. Hey, everybody. Morris and Morris Homestead and DC are in the chat. Thanks for dropping in. I'm running tech myself for this, which is challenging because I have to do the admin on my computer in the corner and then use my smartphone for y'all to see me. All y'all? Did I say that? All y'all?
You got that southern twang going.
Yeah, yeah. I asked Mike Berry, I said, all y'all? And he says, is that right? Right usage of all y'all? And he says, yeah, it is. I left my glue bottle cap off, so nozzle is plugged with glue now. Okay, let's fix this little end bar here. A little bit of tight bond 3. On there. And then what do we say? Bob's your uncle. I'm just going to clamp that. I staple it. I could break it. Because I got clamps. So yeah, Bob was showing me that he was getting some, I think it was mostly ice pellets, a bit of rain, I think. They're predicting the possibility of some pretty severe weather down that way. So let's try to look at the chat on my big screen off to the side here. So look at this. I made myself a jig for mini frames. How about that? That's pretty cool, eh?
I made myself 2 when I started making them too.
Gotta have paper towel. I don't want to get glue on this shirt. All right. When I start with 10 end bars in a row, and I clamp them together. Actually, I could do 20 if I use my bigger clamp. I just realized one day I was building frames. I built thousands of frames. I realized that there's a faster way for me to. I'm trying to count here as well. Put the glue on. I don't like trying to glue the little ears and whatnot. Okay. But it can be a little fussy to set up. Clamp them, set them up here somehow. And I should have my little brush, but I don't have my little brush, so I'll just use my finger. And I put plenty of glue in the trough that I've just created. And I usually have a little glue dish too. And I just flood this with glue. And then I scoot the overage out into the glue dish. But I'm not very well prepared today. You have to keep watch on the chat for me, Mike. See if there's anything going on in there I should be aware of. Okay. I like to start with my end bars upside down. Do the bottoms first. So I made those. Do you remember, Mike? I made those mini nukes up last year in the shop.
Yep, and this year you're going to be able to actually use them.
Yeah, I didn't get any frames made, so they're still sitting there. I got them dipped, but they're sitting there in a pile, all wrapped up on a skid. And so now I can use some of them. I'm probably going to use some and sell some. So I'll have to put an ad up and sell some of them before anybody. And I'm not pushing for sales on this live or anything, but people quite often email me. I don't know if I can ship them to the States.
So I do mine similar to what you're doing.
Yeah.
except for, I don't clamp them in that group.
Yeah.
I set them in groups of 5, and I could do more, but 4 groups of 5 make my 10 frames. And I just squeeze them with my fingers, and I have glue uh, a glue bowl with a brush. I don't even use the
Yeah.
bot,
I
and
usually
it
have
work.
a I usually have a bowl, a
And
little
I just
dish with
and I
my
just
brush.
brush them in,
Yeah.
and because I
Yeah.
can
That's
just flip it back and forth, and I don't have to align. I do align them all just like you did, but I
yeah.
do it in groups of 5. And on the big frames, I set them within inside the fixture. It's harder to do it in that little frame because there's not enough
I
room.
yeah. I do that too. I'll set them in the jig to do that. This one doesn't have enough space. Okay, I'm going to nail these in there. And if my air compressor starts in this room, you may not hear it, but I can't hear anything on the live while it's running. So if it starts, I'll try to tell you. But all right, we'll nail these in there. They're a little bit too loose. These were cut not quite right.
DC says he'll buy some, Brad, but you have to deliver them.
I have to deliver them. That's a long
Yeah.
drive. Depends on how many you want, DC. You place a big order, we can talk. Okay, so now this is the top. Rinse and repeat, so to speak. I like tops better because it's got the dado where it encapsulates that end bar. This is the first time I made end bars, Mike.
Yeah, it's fun.
I made these end bars from scratch, so I made the top and bottom bars from scratch too. Yeah, there's different things to them, so you kind of have to think about how to do it. I think if I were to do it a lot, uh, it's just made out of 2x4s, right? I would put my 2x4s in my planer and plane them down to the proper thickness. These end bars are 1.25 inches. Most end bars are 1 3/8 inches. You know what? This end bar is not cut properly. I can't put the top bar in it. Somebody messed up. I think that somebody was me. I'll do the rest and then I'll fix that one. Yeah, I got that one. I got that one confused. I cut the bottom wide and the top narrow.
Well, You got a whole drawer full. Snap it off and start over.
Start over. I learned something the other day. When I'm trying to get and you probably know this, Mike, you're much more of a contractor than I am. I try to take this and I'll try to knock that out of there, but it just bends, eh? So I cut it off shorter, and then I'll whack it
The other,
when
the
it's
other thing you
short.
can do, either when they're shorter, or take a pair of needle nose pliers and grab it and then hit that. So
Hey, look at
yeah,
that.
yeah, I do that a lot. But I mean, if you don't have the side cutters, you can always like grab a pair of pliers on the section that's sticking out and bring them so there's not so much room to bend, and just
Yeah,
hit the
right.
pliers.
Well, in the shop, I got most of the right tools. I know in the field, you contractor guys, you got to improvise a lot.
Well, I have a box fan with side doors and it's full. And I don't work far from the house, so I
Right.
have my big shop in the house if I need anything else.
All right. Big bottom bar. Get in there. Yeah, I got to do better with my end bars. They're not very accurately. That's okay. The less than perfect frames will stay here for me, and I'll sell the nice ones.
People don't realize the bees don't care.
Nope. And the bees don't care, but I do. Right?
Well, I do the same thing when I'm selling the product. They get the best of the best, and
Yeah.
I get whatever's left over, and my bees do
There
just
you
as
go.
well as theirs. That's a
Mini
nice
frame.
little frame.
That's a nice little frame. So my last test for that is get my little piece of foundation. Make sure I got my dimensions right. I would say I do.
Oh, it's good.
Perfect.
If
Yay.
I was a bee, I'd draw comb on that for you.
Thanks, Mike. That's awesome. Okay, I only have to do that another 32 times. 32 times.
What's amazing is, Brad, when they sell them in the like Man Lake and stuff, they get all the price of a full size frame.
Well, I was considering, Mike. Like, I don't know. There is a guy that has said he wants to buy some of my mini nukes. I don't know what to price them at. I have to look at all my material costs and work out price. But honestly,
Because
I think that is worth the same money as a full size frame because the cost of that is the work, not the material.
yeah, and basically it's got the same sidebars as a full size frame.
Right. It's a medium sidebar. It's exactly
You
what it
know,
is.
and if you and it's got half a piece of comb. I mean foundation. It's a little less, but you know what I'm talking about.
When I do them, this foundation I had here cut already. But when I do them, I cut it in three. So there's about an inch gap at each side, which doesn't cause an issue. So then
Yeah,
I can get three frames out of one sheet of foundation. So I could compromise on the price in that regard.
but the
Crap.
only problem with that I've found is I cut them like you do as if you were selling them. and then I take the strips that are left over, and it takes like 3 or 4, and I can fill another whole frame with them every couple of things. And the queen can't run around as easy. And people were saying, well, it's only a mini mating nuke. But sometimes that queen's as hard to find as if it was in a two-story deep.
You're right. She can be still hard to find.
And they love running the corners. They love if there's, I did some that I only didn't when I did that last with all the pieces. I only put like 3 in and didn't cut the 4th one. And those I find can be nightmarish when the queen's running around. But other than that, they work good either way.
I don't remember. I
You
don't
could put a
remember
piece on each
why,
side
but I
and
have
try to.
I have a bunch of these.
Yeah, see how many fit in just one.
I think this actually is left over from 2 of
Doing the full
these,
size.
right?
So
Cut 2 of these, you get this.
see how many
So
it takes to fill one
yeah,
of them.
yeah, that was exactly my thought. I can take these. I can get at least 2 in there. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll work perfectly. Because that is actually, if I cut a sheet in 3, that's about what it looks like. And I've
Yeah.
run those in mating nukes. I don't have a problem with that at all. So
the ones you're selling do full, and then you can use those in your own.
well, I can do that. I can do that if some people might have a problem with, a sheet that's that big. I can easily just then I get 2.5 frames out of one sheet instead of 3.
Yeah.
I can do that, and I bill them for it, right? I'm not going to lose money on it.
No, they pay for a full sheet every 2 things. The rest is
Yeah,
scrap. What you do with your scrap is up to you.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, that'll work. That'll work perfectly. I'm glad. I'm glad. All right. So what do we got going on in the chat? Anything?
I haven't looked in a minute.
Yeah, DC, right. The bees will fill the size. They do. I run them like that. They're fine. You never notice. After they're drawn out, you don't notice. I put 16 minis over top of 6 frame. So these boxes, I'll show you the box that I made. Honeybee compound, you're absolutely right. This box is what they fit into. And this box is exactly 1/4 the size of a 10 frame box. So I take the easy way out with these, and I will take 2 years to use these. I'll use them a second year because this box and 3 like it just go on a hive as a honey super my first year. And they just fill these with honey. I'll take them in my honey house. I'll uncap them with a bread knife, stand them in my extractor. I'll put them between 2 full frames so they don't fall over. And I extract them. And then I've got these beautiful drawn mini frames that I can use for the following year with the queens. So that's the way I do it. And that's kind of the, I'll say the genius behind this size of box. And this wasn't my idea. I got this idea from somebody else. Because it just lends itself to being drawn out really easily. Yeah, you could separate the 2 and leave the gap in the middle. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You could do that. You could do that if you want. It doesn't matter. They'll draw the whole thing anyway. Especially if you do as I said. If you draw that as a honey super, they will fill that completely.
Brad, do you know who Sourwood Farms is?
I should. I don't remember people's names according to their.
His name's Brian. He just did a video on your what you would call your story frames. I will
Oh,
find
did
the
he?
link and send it to you. He did a real
Oh,
nice
okay.
job on it. He's
Well,
been
that's
doing it for
flattering.
about 10 years.
That is his last name Cooper.
I'll have to look.
We'll do some more of these. Huh. I just had a big lunch, and that's kind of made me dopey. I've only got 18 end bars, so that's how many I'll do. A little bit of open area could help a little bit swarming. Well, the way I use these mini nukes, I don't think swarming is much of a danger. I find it's challenging to get them stocked up with with bees and get the bees to stay. They tend to abscond. Um, and people say, and I've done it. People say, well, put it on top of a brood chamber and let the queen lay in it. That absolutely works. You get some brood in there, and you get bees in it. The only thing I find challenging with that method, because again I've done it, is then you pull it off. You have to find your queen, make sure she's not in your mating nuke when you pull it off. So there seems to be a downside to just about every method you try and do anything with bees. Have you ever put two? Hey Norman, thank you so much. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I appreciate that. Have you put two mini next to each other and drill a 1-inch hole in the top bars to drop cells in? So are you meaning kind of a situation like you would find in those little styrofoam nukes where they have the little divot in the center of the top bar? I've never tried that honestly because I normally when I'm raising queens for myself, I introduce virgins. I don't introduce cells as a rule.
I just slide the cell in between the top bars.
Yeah, yeah, and because I've made these, oops, 1.25 inches, they're a little bit more roomy. It gives you a little bit of management space. Oh, you know what, Mike? I didn't pin a link. I would love it if someone else would come in and talk with us. So let me go over here and I'll pin the link. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Okay. I have to watch my computer on this side. Yeah, yeah, I've seen those little mini nukes have that space for the cell. That's a good idea. I can't remember, Mike. You raise a lot of queens in the summer?
I'm getting more and more.
Yeah.
Right this fall, I have mini mating nukes. They're just two. I took the four ways and pulled the dividers,
Yeah.
so they're just two ways, kind of like, but they're the mini frames. And right now I have, I think, 9 pair, 2 or 3 boxes tall with 10 frames in each, and I've got about another 30 boxes
You can have
set up.
something like this. This is sort of what that is. It's not a four-way, but it's meant to have either one on each side or pull a divider and use
Yeah.
10
So
frames in this.
I have 30 of those with dividers with fixed bottom boards with disc entrances on both sides.
Yeah.
So in the spring I can just split my big ones down and add the queen cells. I'll do them the day of or the day before, and just make them weak and put a feeder on them. And
Right.
they also Motherload, Brad, makes a in-hive feeder medium in the
Oh,
mini
you do?
frames. Yeah,
For like a mini width?
yeah,
Oh, really? I was
yeah.
going to ask you what kind of feeder you use.
I put some screen in them, but I also have little inner covers, so I can
Yeah.
put I put a like a pint bottle on top, and I made mine are all deep, but I have mediums to go with them, so I can just put the box over it so that they're not exposed. I think I'm probably gonna make another 30 deeps this winter, so I'll have enough to do
Oh, yeah. I
120
remember
queens.
you saying that your minis are deeps.
Yeah. I also have mini mediums because I'm also, when I'm done harvesting queens, I will be putting the mediums over it to use as a honey super to winter them right in those boxes.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that's because you're wintering them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think more people should start doing that,
Well, I mean,
because
it's an advantage for you if you can do it too, because you don't have
yeah.
to interrupt your production hives to raise the queens that you need.
Well, and yeah, if I could winter these, which I have wintered these in my building, and they winter quite well. I only did it one time just as a proof of concept, and I had 75% success. So that's good enough to know that it can work.
Yeah,
So
and if you got 75%, the ones that are dead, you just put their combs right over them.
yeah.
And then while you're getting everything ready before you graft, they're filling them out for you.
Yeah, I know a guy he's the guy who turned me on to this size of box. He raises queens all summer in these, and then the last round of queens he just leaves in them. Then he'll winter that in his building, and then they come out of winter. He uses those queens for his early splits because we can't get queens early enough for split time here. That's the big disadvantage we have.
Oh,
And then he uses those queens, and then they go right back into production again, raising new queens. So I think it's a genius method, really.
yeah.
He loves
Troy
it.
Hall winters his are all deeps, his 4-ways, and with the mini nukes, and he winters them over in one level. You know, 4 frames of beans times 4. So some of them he has 4 queens in, and they have pretty harsh winters. He's a couple hours north of me.
Oh, he's that far north of you? Well,
Yeah, it's a little colder, a little more snow, and he's right in the Connecticut Valley, where the Connecticut River goes through. So he's in a good section of land.
that's all the end bars I have. I'm done. I didn't do very much, but I'm done.
Well, it's more than you had before.
Well, I got what did I do? 9? I got 19 or 20 or something. Which is 4 boxes, so that's good. 64 boxes left to go.
Now, are you making them just out of scraps, or you actually having to go out and buy?
These, the top and bottom bars, I bought material. It's my 7/8 pine material I buy from my box builder. That's all I have left, just a half of an 8 and a full 8. So far, the end bars, as you can see, I'm using scraps
Yeah.
because you don't need much of a scrap. You just grab a piece of 2x4, right? That's that long, which is how long? How long is it, Mike? You should know.
What's that?
How long is a medium end bar?
Well, I don't know.
It's about 6 1/4.
I measure
So
them when I need to make them.
any piece of 2x4, 2x6, 2x8, whatever that's 6 1/4 long will make end bars. So I have a pile of 2x4s over here that I've had for a year, and they sat around and they're kind of twisted. So those would make ideal end bars because I can cut them in 6 1/4 inch pieces. It won't matter that they're twisted.
But I did when I was making mine, because I did some on the table saw with a dado blade, like you did, to make the the curve in them. But I did a lot on my joiner, so I cut my pieces about twice what they need to be, plus a half
I can't hear
inch.
you right now. My air compressor started up.
Okay, I'll wait.
I can tell you're talking, but I can't hear you. You just give it a second. Stop. I I cut up the blanks, but now I have to cut the grooves in the end and scallops and whatnot. So that's my next project, making end bars. So you were saying, Mike?
I did a lot on my joiner,
Yeah, joiner does that really
and I,
nice.
and I didn't feel comfortable, so I cut them twice the length plus a half inch. and did
Okay.
my joining so my hands weren't near the cutters,
Yep.
and then I cut them to length.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. I saw a guy do that on a video, and I thought that's genius. Make it twice as long and joint that to be safe, because that's a big problem, especially when you're dealing with mediums. You know, working with a
Yeah, and
little
I
piece of lumber like
and
that.
I
That's
did and I put just a stop block on my joiner.
yeah. Yeah.
Just but I also have a jig for my table saw with the dado blade where you do one at a time, and that does a real
Right.
nice job.
Yeah. That's the one I just made here recently. Works good. I could, I made it that wide, so I do two at a time. So James made one, so I thought, well,
If James can make one, you can.
if James can do it, anybody can, right?
Yeah.
He got a laugh out of that. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a bottle of water here. Nobody, nobody wants to drop in, talk with us. Lots of people in the chat. Eric's building frames, but his garage is unheated. Yeah, I'm glad my garage is heated. Oh man, was it cold this morning? It was minus 40 here this morning, and it's warmed up a lot. Still cold. It's minus 27, but boy, that is nothing like minus 40. Wow, that was cold. That was
Kind of takes
really
your
cold.
breath away, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, if you're fool enough to go out in it. I feel bad for the people who have to go out in it, the linemen and stuff like that. It's so bad. It is so bad. I went out yesterday, it cleared some snow. I was out for a little while. The thing about it was, it wasn't windy out, so it wasn't as bad. But I still got pretty cold. Had to come in. Yeah, Canadians live in a freezer, preserves them.
Yeah, I don't think it's much above 4 or 5 Fahrenheit here right now. The snow is as light as can be.
Yeah, when it's cold, the snow is very fluffy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what do you guys in the chat want to see or do or talk about? Norman sent me an email about research that showed um, how honeybees could do basic math. I haven't watched it yet, but I think I've seen that stuff before. Pretty amazing.
I know
Norman
I
says,
know humans that can't.
"Oh, I know humans that can't do basic math for sure." Norman, he says, new tools, new tools. I don't have any new tools. I don't have any new tools. I'll show you a tool that I was using today that I just love, and I don't even use it to its extent either. This is a miter gauge that I use on my table saw. It's an Incra. What does that say, Mike? Incra 1000 something
Yeah,
XT.
yeah, those are nice setups. I don't have one.
That's a really nice miter gauge. It's very, very accurate. It's very stable, so it's highly repeatable as far as getting your angles just right. And one of the reasons I bought it, because I was trying to do some cut some longer lengths accurately on the table saw, and it was just it was just getting too wobbly doing that. And I gotta just loosen it up here to show you. So I bought this because it has this nice flip stop system on it. This little carriage moves along the fence, and then what you can do is you can extend it out like this to make it a lot longer, so you can put your flip stop down at the end to make longer pieces. Very nice unit. Very, very nice unit.
See, the saw you have you can use stuff like that. The saws I have, I can't.
How's that? Why is that?
Because I have no grooves in my tables. Mine are sliding table saws.
Oh, yeah, yours are sliding.
So, but I do have fences I can put right on that sliding table. So I can go out 5 or 6 feet. So I can, those,
Yeah.
some of the jigs that go over like your rip fence, I can make and attach to the rip fence. But
Right.
ones that go like your clamps that go in the miter slot, I don't have that ability.
Yeah, Eric says 128 US on Amazon, not bad for quality miter. Yeah, it's very affordable as far as what it is. A few years ago, I started working and I decided to buy myself a better miter gauge than what comes with the saw. And even though the saw is a really high quality saw, they never come with a very good miter gauge. So I bought a basic Incra miter. What does it say? A V120 says there. And it's a good miter gauge. It's a slot so you can attach a fence to it. And that's kind of what I was using. And I just found that I wanted more stability with the longer pieces. So I have this one, and that was, I don't know, that was probably 75 bucks Canadian.
Now, Incra makes nice stuff.
Incra does make nice stuff. So it just sits there now.
Like I have a Delta Mortison tenon jig for fits and grooves and stuff. I have to actually dig a table saw out to use it because mine are set up for the cabinets.
I have one over here. I had a tenoning jig that I bought. It was a General. It was a good one, and I sold it. And recently, I made this one. That's kind of a tenoning jig. It just fits over the fence, and then I can adjust the backing to snug up on my fence, and then this hardwood stop holds my material vertically. I could do this kind of thing, clamp that to the fence and run that through the saw. So I sold my tenoning jig, and then one day I wanted a tenoning jig, so I thought, dope, I better build one. So there I did.
It's amazing. You build all these jigs, and then sometimes you use them once.
Yeah.
And 2 days after you throw them out, you need it again.
Yeah.
I've got one that I made for doing like picture frame corners.
Oh yeah.
Just to put the little spline in.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, used it one day. Still kicking around the shop.
I'm trying to see. Oh, all kinds of fixtures and jigs that I made here. Trying to see some of them that I built. They just get pushed aside. Like you say, you use it once and then you may not use it for years. I built some of these.
Someone, Tom, in the private chat asked if you were there. Someone trying to get.
Looking at. Oh, is there somebody? Yeah. See, I'm not watching. Are you? Matt. Hey, Matt.
Hey, how you doing?
Sorry, good. I'm away from the computer here.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, how you
So,
doing?
Doing good.
good. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, you're
Um,
welcome.
we're just talking jigs and stuff. So this kind of thing I made, it's a little sled, and the way I use that, there it is. I can put three I can put three frames on it. Actually, it's for medium frames. I can put three of them on there, stack them up, and then what I can do is I set my table saw just right so that that runs between the fence and the blade, and that will cut my end bars down to inch and a quarter or whatever I set it to. But that's what I usually do, inch and a quarter. Um, and the magic of the jig is the fact that it cuts it cuts it to inch and a quarter, and it maintains the groove in the center, right? So it doesn't just cut it all off one side. It won't, off center it. So that's that little sled. Built a few of those. Then I've got a bigger one for deeps here if I want to cut deeps. Oh, except you got to put it the right way up. So this one's not very tall, so it only fits one. It's kind of a prototype. So yeah. So what's up today, Matt?
Um, well, my two daughters are at work right now. I'm just waiting for them to get out of work. They work at the local stables here with the horses, and yeah, the weather's pretty bad out.
I was going to ask if that's bad roads.
Yeah, the roads are really bad. I'm in my four-wheel drive truck. That's the only way I could be out right now,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, for sure. Well, hope you make it home safe.
Yeah, it's only about a mile and a half home, so
Oh,
should be
good,
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've driven in a lot of that in my life. Oh, I avoid it at all costs now.
Yeah, tomorrow I got to drive to Pennsylvania because I'm a truck driver. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yikes. Well, you stay safe.
Yep.
Do your best. It's bad enough trying to drive on icy roads, but trying to drive among the average driver on icy roads is makes it that much harder.
Yep. Yeah, I normally just take my time, get there when I get there kind of thing.
I found that when I was driving professional, um, sometimes either would be inclement weather or bad roads, or maybe I didn't leave enough time, so I was sort of running late. Uh, I would really condition myself to drive well, but drive safely and do not look at the clock. You know, it was just a matter of, like you said, when I get there, I get there. I'm going to get there as soon as I can safely, and looking at the clock isn't going to change that at all. So once you get anxious about it, that's when you make mistakes.
Yep. I'm also a little worried about my bees because it's getting so cold, but I've done all I could do for them.
Yeah,
I treated them. I washed them this fall. I did mite washes. They all, washed about like a one or a two. So I don't think mites are a big issue. Um, and I got fondant on top of them right now, but there's not much else I could do for them except just wait out this weather.
yeah, you've done everything you can. I woke up and looked at the temperature. I thought, how in the world are my bees surviving outside? It just seems so incredible to me.
Yeah, it's probably colder up there than it is here.
It was minus 40 when I woke up.
Wow, that is colder.
I think it was minus 40. My my weather station like most of them, doesn't record anything below -40. So it said -40. So I assumed that it was about that. It was that or colder. And yeah, the house was even starting to cool off a little bit. But I just can't imagine those little bees in the boxes. Just incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing how they stay alive.
Amazing little creatures. Sure. I want to go to my out yard soon and do a little video out there to show what there is or isn't out there now.
Yeah, do you ever pop any lids in the wintertime?
Well, see, I'm new to outdoor wintering, so I can't say what I do. I can say what I intend to do and what I think I will do. Yeah, I'll wait for, a quote warm day. I'll wait for a day that's not quite as cold as it's been. And then I want to just go and check on some stores um, when I can. So I'll go pop a lid. I'll take feed shims and some fondant with me because I want to be ready. If I pop a lid and I think they need something, I want to be ready to do that right away. I don't want to go back and pop it again. You want to get in and out 30 seconds
Yep.
or less, you know. Um, but I think it'd be interesting. The bees at my out yard, the hives at my out yard are they're not completely covered, but they're quite buried in snow right now. And I wanted to go and do a video out there just to kind of illustrate and bring a visual to that conversation about being covered in snow. Just to kind of dig down into one of them and like, I mean, in the snow around the hive, dig down in there and kind of get a visual as to really what's going on there. Because generally there's a whole little cavity under there that they've melted out around the hive. Uh, so I think it'd be interesting to see that. Bees that get
Yeah,
buried in the snow, they're the best. They're the best surviving bees of any.
yeah, I have a couple of hives that they're still alive because they're on top eating the fondant, but they're not making that pathway through the entrance. There's snow covering their whole entrance, and they're not making that kind of air tunnel that usually you'll see. So I'm worried if they're maybe too small of a cluster to make
Leave
that
the
air
snow
tunnel.
there.
Leave the snow there. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting close to 2 feet today, and I will leave them buried as long as possible.
So
The
even if you
wind,
don't see an air tunnel coming or a small tunnel coming from the entrance, it's okay.
most likely, they're up top, and if it's not warm enough for them to go out, they're not going to go out. It keeps
Okay.
all the wind from going in there. It
That's a
really
double
helps a
mat.
lot.
Yeah, I run double deep 8 frame hives.
So they're probably up higher in the box, and they're not just kicking enough heat out the door to melt it.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you?
I live in a town called Hamlin in New York.
So
It's sort of it's sort of near Rochester, New York. I'm right on the Lake Ontario. Well,
Oh,
I'm not right on Lake Ontario, but I'm about a half mile from Lake Ontario.
so you get some fairly cold weather.
and
Yes.
some deep snow.
Yeah,
Yeah, we get a lot of lake effect snow. Yeah.
you know, once it warms up, where they could go out for a flight. They're not going to go out for a flight unless they're going out to die. I had
Yep.
one yesterday fly out in the cold. I said, "Goodbye, lady."
Yeah.
She was going
Yeah,
out to
you feel
die.
bad. Yeah, you think that they died because they flew out, but when in actual fact, most of them fly out because they're going to die.
Yeah,
Yep.
and they don't want to die in the hive.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, but that's the way it is.
I used to worry about my entrances. If it was a sheer ice storm, I might go check them. But usually, when you dig down there, there's always a big hole in the
Ice
snow.
is a little different. I know ice can be a problem, but that's
Yeah.
different.
But Brad, where my bees were up at upstate Vermont at the Canadian border, I just did the calculations. We had minus 29 C for 2 straight weeks, and then we had one that was minus 39 C one night. And
Wow.
all I had was felt paper and 2 inches of foam on it, and my bees
Wow.
did well.
Yeah, my experience is that even at that, if they have enough feed stores, that they have a good chance.
Yeah,
If
I
they're
was
healthy
running
and they
two.
have enough feed, then yeah, they're okay. It's not the cold that kills the bees. It's kind of crazy to think of that, but it's not the cold.
But that's the way Michael Palmer's run his for years, and he's
Oh
off of
yeah,
Champlain, and he gets awful cold weather.
yeah.
I did
But
have
again,
years of with them on a stand with double deeps and a medium. I had friends almost run over them with snowmobiles.
yeah.
They didn't
I
know
was
they were
going to
there.
say that he gets a lot of snow too. So it's I've seen his felt paper and whatnot, and I'm thinking, well, it might do something a little bit for you, but what really works for him is the deep snow.
Well, that and when they're close enough together, it does make a mini ecosystem when the sun comes out. You know, you go in there and you can tell in between my hives it's warmer than out in the open. All that black, and they'll come out and go to the bathroom and go back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first year I overwintered bees. I had 2 colonies, and I wrapped the outside in Reflectex, and I put a 1.5 inch foam board on top. But now that I have 10 colonies, I'm not doing all that. I just put
Mm,
the foam board on top with a couple layers of Reflectix, and I don't wrap them at all. Um,
that's
they've
expensive
they've
stuff too.
yeah, they've seemed to do last couple years they did okay without wrapping them, with just the insulation on top.
I
But,
I always
but
think that the protecting the hive from solar gain is the right way to go, and that's what being covered in snow does. It doesn't allow the sun to shine on the hive, and it's that fluctuating temperature day to night. I think is what's really hard on the bees. They're never living in the environment that they've really set up for themselves because they don't adjust to a changing environment very fast. It takes a number of hours to adjust to an environment, and that environment's changing too fast, night to day in the winter if the sun is warming the hive. And I think that's primarily between lack of solar gain and lack of wind chill is why being buried in the snow really works. That's just my opinion. It's not worth anything, but it's just my opinion.
and you've insulated yours, and I would, if I was running mine in singles, I would probably be doing the same thing, just so they didn't have to work as much. I'm leaving a full deep worth of honey over them.
Yeah, and
So they have the extra carbs and the
that's
extra
really what
food.
insulation does. Insulation doesn't keep things warm. It allows them to stay warm, um, if that's what they want to do. But the insulation really just makes the feed stores last longer
Yeah.
because they don't
Yeah,
have to
you have
burn as much fuel.
But then you see people saying, "Well, I'm leaving a third box on." Well, that can be not good because that stays cold and that could condensate and
Yeah,
drip right on your bees.
it's yeah, that's overkill. It's all a balance.
yeah yeah I have some newts that are in 3 stories that I'm
Brian from
overwintering.
Flower Street says he's in torpor.
Brian's in torpor.
Yeah.
He had his fireplace going. I thought you were in Colorado, not torpor.
He's in a state of torpor.
Yeah, DC says I have to use my solar gain. I'm not adopting a summer beekeeping and winter beekeeping style. My environment is always changing. Yeah, I think of all the beekeepers I know, to be honest, I think DC has probably the most challenging, if not the most challenging, among one of the most challenging environments to winter bees, because I can deal with warm temperatures and cold temperatures with, you know, solar gain, lack of solar gain, and insulation and feed and stuff like that. But he deals with such high humidity. And how do you deal with high humidity? It's it's really difficult, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially in the wintertime.
movies. Yeah, so I think that's one of the most challenging environments is that Pacific Northwest. I don't know exactly where he is. I'm familiar with the area, but I don't know where he is. I used to live up that way a few years back.
Hey, Brad. Todd
Yeah.
says he's backstage.
Okay, I'll go. I'll go let him in. Thanks, Mike.
He texted me.
Hey, Todd.
Hey
So
guys.
he's working
No,
bees. It's
Todd's in
40
the bee.
effing below here, and Todd's working bees. Show
Well,
off.
I thought I would, yeah, thought I'd give you guys something to look at while you're talking.
Let me make your picture bigger.
Well, my camera is on a tripod, so it's not going to be the best view.
How's
I
that?
found something out. I figured something out last night about this fondant, and I think from now on, I'm going to be, oh shoot, I forgot to cut it open. I think from now on, I'm going to be using quart bags instead of sandwich bags, because there's just a little more room in the bag when you mash it to activate it. And if you have corners of that fondant that might or might not be not dried out but hard, when you start kneading the package, it pokes a hole in it, and sometimes it rips it all apart. So the quart bag gives a little more room, and it's not bad. So, and that one's too big. Yeah, I don't mean to rub it in. This is actually
Oh,
the well,
no, you
yesterday
do.
it was all foggy in like 45, so it's 50, I think 51 or 52 right now is what my truck
Well, that's
said.
enough of that
So
talk.
I thought I'd get
Um,
out here and do this real quick.
I had a box here I was going to show you, but it doesn't matter. What I used when I made my own pollen protein patties a few years ago
This
is
is
I
the.
got
Are
them.
you guys still there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Huh.
Yeah, can you hear me? No, you can't hear us. Can't hear us. Can't hear us. Oh, did Matt drop off?
Guess so.
Maybe his, what did he say, daughters came out. And Todd's gone too. So it's just us again. Let me know if he reappears. Hey, Mike, I can't see the screen from where I am.
I don't know that I can see the backstage at all.
Really?
Todd had texted me on my cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah, he's wanting in again. Hey, Todd.
Hey, sorry.
Yeah, we can
I
hear
mean,
you.
oh really? I looked at my
I,
camera; it looked frozen, so that's why I jumped out.
I was going to say that when I made some patties years ago, I bought a box of, they were pouches. They weren't very big for fondant. They weren't very big, but they were just little hamburger pouches, and they were made of parchment. So they
Mhm.
were so handy because we just scooped some patty into it, kind of made it flat and threw it in a box, throw it in the freezer or whatever. And they were
Yeah.
so handy to just take out, put on the colony. The thing I love about fondant or parchment or even I guess wax paper, I've never used that, but is that the bees just chew it up and take it out the door, and it's not harmful to the environment. It's not like you're throwing garbage around.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I love is there's nothing to remove later on.
Sometimes they do a number on these bags, these plastic bags. I'll go in there. Well, not this
Yeah.
year, but last year. They're completely gone. Even the blue collar of it. Now, this is the one that almost every single time gets me in the leg.
Oh, this should be entertaining.
Yeah. Ooh, boy, they're looking at me out here. Yeah, they're all right. Yeah, they're not happy. Ooh, they're not happy, but what happens? Yeah, they don't they don't like to be shook in those bags either. I can tell you that. Yeah, this one was. I don't know if you could see that. It was almost all the way between the frames. They're trying to drag it out. Same with this piece.
Oh, we got
All right.
old McNally.
How you doing, guys?
See, I'm
Oh,
running tech and I
James.
can't see the lineup over there, so
Oh, that's
I
because
didn't
you're in
notice right
Winnipeg.
away. Yeah,
I'm waiting to watch Todd get stung in the legs.
yeah, we all are.
No, I think that's it.
What's going on, James?
I'm down here in Virginia, Suffolk, Virginia, in this big bad snowstorm.
I was wondering if your flight would have been canceled.
No, you
No.
you're.
Look what I've been making.
Oh, there you go.
Mini top bars and bottom bars.
Yeah, this isn't
I just
much of a storm down here, guys. Oh, those
assembled a
look
few
good.
of those.
Depends on which end you're at.
I'm waiting for it to arrive. So apparently they state of emergency down here, but it's really just kind of a nice early spring day or a late fall day. It's
So in Grand Prairie they would call that Sunday.
we'd probably just call this like Tuesday.
Yeah.
Here,
Right.
here, let me show you. So let me see if I can turn the camera around here.
Hey, at least you're not sideways. But that does look like a winter storm warning.
Look, I can't see it. What is it? There green grass on the ground?
Oh yeah, it's grass. Like there's hardly any snow even on the meridian. Like I don't know. But
Cold
anyways,
in Grand Prairie this morning, James.
what did Leah say it was? Minus 25, I think somebody said.
Not too
We
bad.
didn't look. So
Minus 40 here this morning. Haven't seen minus 40 yet. Well, for a year. Anyway.
well, it is only the end of January, right? January and
Yeah.
February are usually the two coldest months at home. So
Anything can happen.
absolutely.
Nothing last week. Minus 40 this week. Hey.
So mini top bars. Those are looking good, Brad. How many you got done up?
Made 300, about 350 of tops, 350 bottoms. Because you probably, I don't know, you may remember last year I built the little boxes.
Yep.
So I didn't build any frames, so now I'm trying to fill the boxes with frames.
Nice.
He built the cart last year. This year he's building the horse.
That's right.
Well, I got
That's right.
whole pile. I got a whole pile of those I got to build again. So everything goes good. I'd like to have about in a perfect world, 300 or 400 those little mating loops going at any given time.
Well, I've just built them for something to do, so give me a call.
A road trip is in my future.
Maybe. I think I'll use a few, but I don't think.
Are you making those sidebars a little narrower, Brad, so they fit in there better?
Yeah, they're 1.25 inches.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they don't have lots of space because it's a half a 10 frame, eh? So there's only barely fit my finger in the space.
Yeah, they still end up being fairly tight. You don't quite have that full B space, but they do seem to be able to get in and out of there all right.
That's because it's half a 10, so it's 8 1/8 wide, and that's not that much space for 5 frames.
Did you make those boxes out of 7/8 material or 3/4?
These are 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are 3/4. I use 7/8 for my bottom bars and my top bars.
There you go.
So they're 7/8 wide and half an inch high.
Nice.
And then my nifty little scallop jig does a nice job.
Right on. Doesn't that work well?
Oh yeah, it works nice. My only little snag with it, if you want to call, is when I pull the end bar out of the jig.
Yeah.
It will tend to kind of
grab it,
tick on the blade a little bit, and it's usually not a problem. But I think if I let that drop at all, it would. I think I broke one because I let it drop a little bit, and it broke it when the blade hit it. So I don't know if I can change that.
It snags it just a tiny bit.
Well, see, I push it in and then I pull it out. If I pushed it in and then I picked it up.
Oh no! You know what? Do you have a spacer at the back of your dado blade?
Yeah, there's a little spacer right there.
Yeah.
It goes up on the blade and then it goes on a piece of wood.
Yeah.
So I could pick it up like this because it's not sitting on the blade.
I think that's what I did. I think I have to go back and take a look at my short. I don't know whether I just pushed it straight in and pull them straight out, or if I pushed it in and then lifted up on that little spacer there.
Got my jig right here. So mine's kind of cobbled together because I was figuring it out. But that's that little thin piece. It's very thin too.
Yeah, it's just the height that you're taking off, right? Just that scalp.
Just a little bit you're taking off, just so the frame has something to sit on. And this one, these are not glued on, so I can take this piece off, and that stop is a deep
full frame. Yep.
And then that stop is the medium.
Right on.
So
yeah, those things work so good. Actually, it was interesting because I passed through Atlanta on my way here, so I was busy talking to the bug farmer, and he was asking about my wax dipping tank. So I went back and I thought I had posted my video on that wax dipping tank, but as it turns out, I never did. So the last hour and a half here, I've been editing video sitting down here in the hotel room. And what I'm going to do is I should have that uploaded here shortly of how I built my wax dipping tank. So it's interesting how you think you did something, but you never really do get it out there. So you'll see a video from me shortly.
Good. I haven't seen one of you for a while. Sorry, Matt. I'm limited to 6, and I didn't see you there until I clicked on these other 2 characters.
You can drop me out if you want.
I thought I saw a video
that's up to you.
You can kick me out if you want. I'm just listening.
Okay, well, if you're just listening, then maybe we'll let Matt come in.
Sure. Which
Thanks,
Matt?
Todd. Matt Morris.
Which? Oh, I thought he was in there already.
He was.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey guys,
how's it going?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I dropped out. I dropped out because the owner of the barn here, she fell off her porch into the snow. And she's about 80. She's about 83 years old. So,
You okay?
She was yelling. She was yelling for somebody, and I went and helped her up back in the house.
Yeah.
So she's okay. She's okay.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's not good.
So how's everyone doing?
I'm just weathering my severe
Well,
storm
I'm
warning.
sitting down here waiting out the storm.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I showed you picture. I showed your picture to my wife, Bob, a picture of your truck, and she said, "Yeah, it's a truck. So what?" I
Well,
said, "Yeah, look, it's covered in snow."
hey, they've already closed school for Monday. You know,
What'd
for
you say?
tomorrow.
That's not
they
snow.
close it
That's
down.
just, that could be dust.
Yeah, it's sleet.
I don't know how you cope.
I know it's terrible. It's terrible. Well, you know,
Not too funny.
I think that the
Well, that's
you know,
okay because you saw the picture of the
economic
site here.
ploy. What they do is a
The
couple
hotel
times a
here
year.
has got all the
No, you're
signs.
both talking.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say the hotel down here's got the signs down there saying, you know what, they're the hotel of choice and everything is booked up and the rooms are booked up. And I'm looking outside thinking, why?
Are you in Norfolk?
It's a matter of perspective. It really is.
Well, Norfolk is like a huge military base there, so that could be a reason why the hotel.
Everybody quiet.
No, you just can't hear.
Yeah, you can't hear because I can hear Bob. I can hear you, James.
Huh.
But you're not hearing Bob. Is why you were both talking.
Yeah, I'm not hearing Bob at all.
You just become deaf to Bob.
Yeah, muted, selective mutism.
This is the best thing ever.
Hey, I think it's almost like a ploy, right? In the fall, it's all, we're going to have a tropical storm. Everybody rushes to the store. And, it's going to ice or it's going to snow or something. And then they rush to the stores and buy up everything.
It's like the zombie apocalypse has arrived.
Yeah, that's it. And then nothing happens. And, it is raining right now. So there's that, I guess.
Yeah, I can't hear Bob. I don't, actually, I don't know if I can hear anybody else's.
Nobody else is talking. Just me.
Can you hear me, James?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
How about me?
He's got me blocked is what it is.
So just Bob. I just can't hear Bob.
Hold on, I'll just sign language to you.
Sounds like maybe Bob can hear me.
I'm just playing. Don't demonetize Brad.
How you doing, Doug?
James, you were talking about your wax. Maybe he can't hear me.
No, I can hear you. You were just cutting in.
Break it up though, Doug.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to.
I've seen a video of you making your wax melter.
I was going to say I couldn't find a short. I couldn't find.
I saw a video of him using
I don't know
it.
what the heck where it went or what happened, but I was wondering. I know I did showcase it a couple times, or I on a live stream. I'm wondering if maybe it was there.
I saw you using it, dipping some paint or dipping some boxes before. Actually, it was a redip of boxes, I think. After you pressure washed them. I don't know why I'm talking to you. You can't hear me.
Am I supposed to translate?
Yeah.
Well, now I can't
Do it
hear
in
Brad.
French, though.
You can't hear Brad now?
I can hear Brad.
I'll come back in.
Can you hear me?
He couldn't, I guess.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I've changed to the computer. So I'm gonna put the phone
Check
down.
your hearing aid. Hey, he does have hearing aids,
Yeah.
so that's the
James' problem is he's right side up this time.
thing. It's that winter storm he's got going on over there. Virginia. Oh, there he is. Welcome back.
Well, now I can hear Brad. Oh, I think I can hear everybody now.
I think what it is your phone decided to be in the right orientation today, which threw its speakers off now.
Well, I did download an update on the iPad here. That's for sure. But yeah, Doug, I wonder if that when you saw it, I wonder if I was on a live stream or something somewhere, because I went back and looked through my videos. I was surprised that I didn't have one up there. So.
Is the bug farmer, last video I saw from him is he's preparing for the winter storm they're supposed to get. And he didn't know, I don't know how many hives he's down to now, but is that he was worried about losing the rest of his bees, however many that is.
Yeah, I didn't get it. Oh, what is that?
Brad's compressor.
Our compressor. I was going to say, I didn't get a chance to talk to him too much about his number of bees, but we did talk about the boxes he's building, which are looking absolutely amazing. So I think those are going to be some top-notch boxes that he's doing.
Did he buy the machines to do all that stuff, or is he just doing it with jigs on his regular equipment?
No, knowing him, he's probably doing it right. So he's kind of a lot like I am. You're going to do something, do it 100%, or don't do it at all.
Yeah, I've found that those rabbit joints actually work pretty well. But those you don't need special equipment.
Yeah, the way he's got them though, man, they are fitting together just.
Yeah, those are more of a dovetail.
Yeah, they are a dovetail. Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice.
The only thing I noticed real quick about the dovetail is the ledge that the frames sit on doesn't overlap that. So it's going to tend to warp if the board's not good.
Oh,
It's not fastened at the top unless you can
no,
put a screw in.
his are all fastened right in there. So he did. I think he put a video up. You might want to take.
I did look at it.
I'm pretty envious, to be honest with you. So I wish I, that ability, but
I'm sure if you sold your boat, you could buy that machine, and then your jealousy would go away.
That ain't happening. So I can deal with awfully crappy boxes.
Like I said, the bees don't care.
So no, but the beekeeper that's got to put the boxes together, let me tell you, I've put bad boxes together. No, never again. You spend the money, get the good boxes. It is not worth trying to put bad boxes together. That is horrible.
Oh, I've seen some of my friends bring them over, and you actually have to take a hand plane to flatten the bottoms out.
Yeah,
you can almost let a bee go in through the joints.
Yeah.
yeah. I've bought boxes at places where the price was a lot cheaper and the joints don't fit properly. And the short side will sit higher than the long side. So when you stack your boxes, it'll make a eighth of an inch gap right there. Yeah. And
I don't like that. On and you come back and there's no honey in your supers.
Yeah.
Geez, wonder what happened here. So
you saved money on boxes. That's what's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, his I've like I said, we were sending photos and stuff there back and forth. He's got that figured. There's absolutely no gap on there. So he's got that.
Looking to wax dip those too, eh?
Well, that's how what got us onto the my wax dipper is he was wondering where I got it, and then I let him know that I didn't get it anywhere. I built it. So that's where we started talking about the video, and I went back and I couldn't find it. So I've been editing videos. It's good because a lot of my videos I put up on the cloud so that I can access them from anywhere. Because of course I don't have all my my passports and my data and stuff like that down here. But that video was, it's all up on the cloud there, so I can pull that stuff down and then edit it accordingly. So I've just about got it done. I'm hoping to render it and upload it there either tonight or tomorrow. So.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go because my daughter should be getting out any minute now. So
Man,
Take care.
nice talking to all y'all.
good to
Thanks.
see you.
All right, bye.
We got a whopping. I guess I need to do it in Celsius. Let's see, where are we at? We are in -1.
-1 degree Celsius?
Yep,
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Deep
What to
freeze.
do. Just think, man, if it warmed up for you guys, that would be like 39
Well,
39-degree improvement.
I was walking downtown Virginia here today, just kind of taking a look at some of the architecture and buildings and things like that. And I'm walking around out there like this, you know, my shirt on, just a vest, my shoes, my jeans, and I'm walking around down there. Everybody's got their toques on and their mitts on, and I'm walking by everybody, and they're looking at me like I'm absolutely, completely nuts. I just look at them and say, "I'm
They're looking at you like you're absolutely Canadian."
That's what I told them. I looked at them. I says, "I'm Canadian." I says, "They're like, oh," and away they went. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah.
That happened to me in Toronto one time. I was walking along down by the CN Tower, just walking along downtown, and I think it was like late November or something, and it was actually not real cold, but I was t-shirt, not shorts, but t-shirt and jeans, and walking along, and this guy come whistling up beside me, and just right up beside me, he says, "So where are you from?" He says, because he could tell it wasn't from there. He startled me, and I thought, "What do you mean, where am I from? How do you know I'm not from here?" And then I realized, oh yeah, all these people are wearing parkas.
Yeah. But here's what it is. I was talking to a couple of the guys down here, and here's the difference. So up home, we got snow plows and sanding trucks, and we have the infrastructure to handle a bit of snow. Yeah. It's a legal requirement to have tires on your vehicle.
I was going to say, and snow tires, right?
Yeah, that will handle the snow and ice.
Yeah.
There's none of that down here. So
I wouldn't drive on the tires they have down there. Like, it's not just the drivers. I wouldn't drive on those tires.
And the people have no idea how to drive on a little bit of ice. I jumped in my vehicle. It's a rental vehicle, but I drove out to the mill there, and the parking lot's empty. There's a little sheet of ice over top of it. But anyways, I pull up to the security the shack there to get on site, and they looked at me like, "You're driving? You're crazy to be."
And you should have looked at him and said, "I'm Batman."
But they're like, "You're crazy to be out on these roads," and I was like, "You're crazy not to be." I says, "These are great roads. What are you talking about?" But it was from where the hotel is to the mill. It's about a 20-25 minute drive. I never saw a soul all the way out there or a soul all the way back. Nobody out there anywhere.
That's probably a good thing, James.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
they were there. They were just down in the ditch.
Yeah, exactly. So, but so it's all a matter of perspective. But when you stop and think about it, they got no snow plows, they have no salt, no sand. They're just not used to this at all. Right?
And again, I'll say, you know what? I wouldn't drive here on snowy or icy roads with the tires that they have, because they don't have winter tires. They don't have snow tires.
No, the rubber gets so hard. There's no grip. There's no siphoning in it.
No aggressive treads or anything.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, like 2 weeks ago, it was ADF here.
So
yeah. So
it will be in probably 4 days again, Bob.
Couple more days, it'll be back in the 60s, and then hopefully off we go.
Couple of more months, it should be that here too.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's more than a couple.
Yeah, pretty cold out for you, Doug, too.
It's supposed to get to minus 24 tonight.
Well, it's warming up then, eh?
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, we're starting to warm.
I think it was minus 27 when I came out here. So
You take a look.
it's a lot warmer than minus 40 this morning. So that's good to see.
Yeah, it's fresh out there.
Brad's thermometer pegged out, wouldn't go lower. Stopped.
Well,
Yeah,
it's 2 degrees here.
It's colder where I am than where you are right now.
Oh, it's actually going to really warm up, Doug and Brad. It's only minus 8 at home.
really?
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
So, going to warm up.
It's going to get really warm on like Tuesday. It's going to be minus 17 or something.
Yeah. Normally, you guys see the weather that we get. What is it? About 2-3 days after, eh?
Yeah, no sooner. Yeah, 3 to 5 days, I'd say.
I'm about a day ahead of Brad.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's good news if that's coming.
it really depends on what kind of system it is, but I mean, even Ian is hours ahead of me.
Oh yeah.
They're saying February we're above normal temperatures again.
Good. Well, that's not that warm for February even. It's like, oh, warmer than normal. Okay, so it's only minus 35.
So
The first day of this cold stuff with that wind we had, that was brutal.
Yeah. The wind is, that's the thing here for the last couple of days, super cold, no wind at all.
well, the interesting part here is trying to find somewhere to eat because everything's closed. Nobody can get into work.
Right?
So,
During a lunch, eh? Holy cow.
but, so yeah, never a dull moment in my life. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we ride it out.
But,
Ride it out. Stay home.
Oh,
no,
go
I'll
on,
go
play.
storm of the century. I seem to want to fly clear across the darn country and get in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go there.
Mm.
I'm very thankful for this warm shop. I mean, this is costing me a mint to keep this thing warm, but
Well worth it.
it's worth a mint, you know.
Absolutely. So, what's your next project, Brad? What are you doing for foundation in there? Are you gonna do the same thing, kind of cut a piece of foundation in half or in a third?
I can go either way. If they're for me, I'll cut it in a third. I can cut it in a full piece. I've got this one right here. So I can cut that
Oh yes.
twice and then end up with a piece that's, this big. So then
Yep.
I can put those two in one
Got her.
for myself. Because I don't mind when I make them for myself, I'll put a third in, which is about this wide.
That's what I did too, and then you end
Right.
up with space on each side.
And they just build it up. There's no issue.
Now, if you're trying to get that queen out of there before they built that up, you're going to be doing this a lot.
Yeah.
She seems to run right around that darn thing.
I build mine and like I use mine the second season so I'll put these on this year's Honey Supers.
Yeah.
And so they just build it end to end.
Got
And
it.
then next season I can use them and they're built right out. You can't even tell that it's not foundation.
How do you spin that darn thing?
I uncap it with a bread knife.
Yeah.
And then I just stand it in there. I put it between two deep frames. It stands up in my Kelly.
Okay.
Because my Kelly has it has the bottom of the rotor here.
Yeah.
And then it has actually a ring about this high.
Oh, okay.
And then another ring at the top where the deeps sit. So
Got it.
it's in there just fine. It'll tend to flop a little bit this way. So I just alternate with deeps. And they spin out perfectly. It's totally a non-issue.
That's one thing I haven't tried, but I might have to dig out that little 12 framer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got my 2-framer as well if I need to, but that
Got it.
Kelly works good that way. And my 2-framer is electric though.
No, there you go.
This is 2-framer, it's electric.
Yeah.
kind of weird, but
Actually, I think you did a review on that, didn't you?
yeah, I did.
Right.
Yeah, Vivor sent it to me for a review.
Got her.
So.
But,
If you had to, you could probably cut a piece of wood with a hole in it that would go in between two of those small frames and make it one long frame.
well, I was trying to figure that out. That's how I was trying to figure out how to put it in my my spinner and spin those out. Because, that'd be the way to do it, is put them on and let them do exactly that, draw it all out and fill it, and then spin it, and man, it would be perfect. So I just got to figure out how to do that.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, if they wouldn't fit in your extractor, in my case, that Kelly is built just right. So they total non-issue in that thing.
Perfect.
Sure, nice job when they draw them in the honey super. They're just wall to wall.
Yep.
Fully drawn.
For sure. Well, I've got a few that they drew right out, and I didn't empty them. I'm humming and hawing as to what exactly I'll do with them, because that'll help hold them in place too if I put that in there early enough in the spring, right?
With some honey in it.
With some honey in it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it should.
So,
not as well as brood, of course, but you can put that. You know what? When using these minis, I think a good thing to have on hand is that temp queen.
yeah.
If you put like a half a temp queen strip in there, that should hold them in there.
No, that would work. Yep.
And I don't know. I think I talked to somebody who does that, and I think they said that they don't even take it out.
Just leave it there.
When they put a cell in or a virgin or whatever they're doing, I think they said they just leave the temp queen in there.
Huh.
So you could, if that's the case, you could just staple it right to a top bar.
And be done with it.
Yeah, and then it's not going to disappear.
So, yeah, that's an idea for sure.
That's great stuff. A lot of people don't know about that, but you get a hold of some temp queen, that can help you solve some
pretty big problems.
Especially, hobbyists are always pulling their hair out. Oh my God, my queen died, and they don't have a plan, right? And if you got some temp queen in the cupboard, put a temp queen strip in it. That's going to hold them down until you can solve your problem.
Yeah, I think I still got a couple of those. I seal them up, vacuum pack them into a bag, and then I put the whole bag into a freezer.
Yeah, I put mine. I just put it in a Ziploc, but in the freezer.
Yep.
And if you ever wondering if they're still potent or not, just take one on a nice day and set it on top of a hive in the apiary, and in about 5 minutes it'll be covered in bees.
You'll find out whether they're still good.
Oh yeah.
Be able to determine if they're potent or impotent.
Or impotent.
I was always going to try them in the hot room to get some of those stray bees in.
Oh, to attract the bees, yeah.
You know what I found works good there, Doug? And this was completely purely by accident.
Yeah, I solved my problem too.
So completely by accident, I took a nuke with a queen in there, and I just set that nuke in the window. You know what? Everything's into that nuke, no problem whatsoever. That's better than a vacuum.
That's what I did too last year. I ended up just with a little 4-frame nuke just in the corner of the room.
Yeah.
Not one bee.
Yeah,
for all of that box.
That's way better than a vacuum, man. They just right in there.
Yeah.
A nuke with a queen, like a real.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yep.
And all the bees just found it and went right in.
Well, what we did accidentally, somehow we ended up with a hive that had 2 queens in it. One was up in the the top.
Oh yeah.
So we brought it in, and I was pulling the frames out, getting them all loaded up, and I pulled the frame out, and there was this little clump of bees on there, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm looking at this. Normally I just shake them off and not think anything of it, or just put it on there. Right? And I'm looking, and sure enough, there's a queen, and I'm like, well, I just found a nuke box, dropped it in the nuke box, and of course carried on, just set it off, to the bench there over by the window. And probably I'm going to say about 3 hours later, I'm like, well, where'd all the bees go? And right into that box. It's just
if they're not sometimes you get a box like that, they'll have a queen in it, so they're going to stay in there. But if they're just bees that are in a honey super, they don't know where they live and they're lost. So if they sense anything like that, like I put a little nuke outside my honey house, because you always get the bees that are ended up outside the honey house. Well, that worked like a charm. They just all end up in that little nuke, and it ends up overpopulated.
There you go.
But yeah,
I've opened the window and I'll chase them all outside, and I put a nuke out there, down there below them. It will get some of them, but most of them go back up on top of the window, wanting to go back where they come from.
Huh.
they want to go back inside.
Yeah,
They wanted out. Now they're out. They want in.
yeah. We don't get a lot of bees in there, really, for the amount of hives we put in, but you still get a few bees.
Well, we don't get a whole bunch, but I mean, we didn't fill that nuke box out of everything that we ended up in there. You know, my bigger problem is this: there's another guy's got an apiary about half a mile away. So if we don't take the boxes and put the boxes away or there right away, or take them back out, I could probably clean that whole guy's apiary out as they come over. Of course, because you're pulling the honey right around the dearth, right? But
You should get some queens and make some late season splits.
that's what I was gonna say. I could probably clean them right out. That would just be a bit of a dick move. That's all. But you know, I
Don't
try
keep
hard
the bees at home.
yeah. You know,
Yeah,
But
when
that's
we're
all.
pulling, if we find a super with brood in and the bees in, we'll usually blow it out so it doesn't come back into the honey house that way.
I've been trying to figure that out too. You know how some of these stores and stuff use this wall of air to try
Air
and
curtain.
air curtain. Yeah,
Air curtain. Yeah.
I'm trying to think have the boxes come in and feed in there and have some kind of an air curtain. But of course, the problem there is sometimes they've got them, you know, all waxed together so tight that you might not get it out of there. But I'm working on something there. Well,
So you're thinking to have the air curtain blow through the box to clear the bees? Okay.
Correct. Yeah, we do use an air wand.
Yeah.
So prior to them getting there, you know, as they scrape the top of the box off, we'll use an air wand and blow them all out in between, you know, and they all kind of go down, you know, underneath the conveyor there. That way, by the time you get to the box, it's, you know, it's basically nothing left in there. But just trying to, you know, get a few more things a little bit more refined and make it.
Yeah. Well, it's something I hate is bees in the honey house. Oh, I hate that. I just hate it.
Is what?
Bees in the honey house.
Oh,
Just hate bees in the honey house.
Well, you see, I was thinking if a guy could have an air curtain, you could unload those things outside. You could blow them all out outside and then push the box through the wall, right? With that air curtain.
That's right.
So, you know,
Have a little run, escape back out underneath like a conveyor, right? You just push on a roller in and the air blows them out. They go into the bottom and can escape back out the end of it.
well, that's kind of what I was thinking. The trick is, you know, like I say, everything's usually fairly tight, right?
I need to perfect my bee extractor.
There,
James,
exactly.
remember the bee extractor I built?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a little bit, actually.
I think a 3D printed plenum thing is maybe what's in order. I don't know. Well, you're a tin basher. You could probably build it out of tin.
Well, I think there's a couple prototypes I had out there. I don't think I finished them off. We didn't get a chance to get together and see what what your idea was. So
well, yeah, one of the challenges is to get an appropriate fan. Like you have to have a fan that's going to move enough air that the bees can't fly back against it.
see, I was using a Dyson for that. I actually got one of those Dyson. They're kind of like a little oval about this big around.
Okay, yeah, a Dyson would be good because it pulls air through the center.
Yeah, and then what I did on the other one is on the outside, I put an LED light strip, just around and around and around. So that kind of attracted them there. And then of course, that Dyson would blow them out. Just trying to figure out how to do that a little cheaper because those Dyson fans aren't cheap.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It takes a good blast of air to get them out. If we get in a panic short, Nathan will put on the backpack blower and we'll blow. But you have to pretty well separate each frame to get them out while you're doing it too.
Yep.
And that's that backpack blower moves a lot of air.
That fan that I have, I don't know what it's for. I got it in a package of stuff one time. I think it's what is it, James? Is it a ventilation fan?
I think so, yeah.
Or like, you know, like a bathroom or something?
Yep.
It's just a
Yeah.
little round thing. It's about that long, and it actually moves quite a bit of air. And it's not a lot, but it's pretty well enough to keep the bees from coming back against it. They
Yeah, they
try
call
to
it-
walk, like they'll get on the edges and they'll walk against it, and sometimes
Yeah.
I think they can get through.
Yeah, I think they call it a duck fan.
Yeah, I think it's a duck fan.
You know, the problem there is you got the blades in there, right? So, you know, some bees get
Well,
through,
what
some
but
don't.
what I did, remember what I did is I made kind of a Venturi system
Why? Yep.
where I just got a plumbing Y.
Yep.
So that you could see straight through it and you could see the sunlight, because I got no windows in my building. So
Yep.
poke a hole in the wall and it's the only point of light. And then the fan sits pointing down through that, blowing air out. But it's not sized properly because
Yep.
the outlet has to be the product of the inlet and the fan.
Yeah,
And-
see, I took that Dyson and I put that light around it. And then on the outside, I just used a dryer vent. So when you turn the fan on, the vent would open up. And then when the fan came off, the vent would close again, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
that-
It's got to be either running or closed.
Yeah.
The bees will go back in.
So, yeah, you'll end up with more bees in the house than you blew out.
Yeah, because I don't think it's a difficult or complex thing. If you could just fabricate it, I think people would really like to use that
Oh, I think so, yeah.
bee extractor.
Well, your cyclone would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it beats the bees up to a little bit too much, though. Right? We were trying to figure something out that wouldn't harm the bees, get them out of there, but at the same token wouldn't kill the bees, right?
Yeah, this idea, like the Dyson, is similar to what I constructed with this fan. They don't go through the fan. The fan causes a suction in the tube.
A pitot suction, almost like a
Pitot, yeah,
Venturi,
exactly.
Venturi effect.
Yeah.
So,
But it's just a straight 4-inch. It's 4-inch. All three ends are 4-inch, which is not right for a proper pitot system.
yeah, you needed to speed the air up.
Yeah.
So you go from static to dynamic, and then out and open. So, you betcha.
But
Jeez,
I've used it, and
I should turn that light on. It would look like I have a halo.
you'd be a, what is that, Orthodox Ukrainian something? Yeah. James.
Oh, look.
He's in the witness,
That's-
the witless protection program.
The witless
This is the
protection
closest
program.
I'm ever going to be to a saint.
But I was going to say, just to, at the end of that, I have used the cobbled together thing I have, and it worked like 85, 90% effective. It worked really well.
That helps, right?
Not good enough, but it worked pretty good.
I ended up doing the Bruce's bees method. It worked a lot better than the year before. So obviously you guys know how close my honey house is to my apiary. So when I pull supers off, I actually have the truck facing out like I'm going to drive out. And then I drive down the road 2 miles or so all the bees fly back home. And then when I pull back in, they're all back in their hives, and then I can just pull right up to the honey house and unload. I still get some bees that are in there, but most of them are gone at that point.
Yeah, we keep our yards at least 2 miles from the honey house, but even then, you'll get some stragglers coming to visit.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice. How are your bees doing, Brad?
The ones in the shed look pretty good, I think.
I was going to say, I keep an eye on them. I know Alan's looking after them there right now, but the cluster doesn't seem to be getting any smaller.
Oh, these ones in my shed, holy cow, they're bursting. So I don't know. That worries me a little bit because they might eat too much, but
Right.
hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll get a warm day. I can check the outdoor ones.
Got her.
I've got a bunch of fondant here I could use if I need to. See if they've got enough stores.
Yeah. No, they don't seem to be getting any smaller at all, the cluster and stuff in there. So I I saw Ian was doing some brood checks. What did he find? I didn't get a chance to watch his video. I was in between flights.
I didn't see any details, but he did find a surprising amount of brood.
Wow.
In some of those. I don't know what the profile of those were. I kind of expected they likely were new queens.
Got her.
And I think that's what's going on in my shed, because all of the colonies in my shed are brand new queens. And you know how they are.
Yeah.
Can't help but lay eggs.
Well, that's all I've got is brand spanking new queens from last year. So
yeah.
March will tell the tale.
Yeah.
With the exception that one breeder queen is still going. My one hive, she is still going.
That one, yeah.
You know,
that's a breeder queen?
She was a breeder queen, yeah. That was the only
was
one that
it
survived.
Instrumental insemination?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, she came from the States.
So those,
I'm sorry?
Those don't usually last too long, do they?
No, this will be her third year.
Wow.
You know, if she makes it through the winter, this will be her third year.
It's pretty low odds of that.
But I didn't say she was really strong in there.
Yeah.
You know, I did have to rob from Peter to pay Paul a little bit. So, I mean, I had to boost her up a little bit. But, you know, I just thought we'll see how that goes. I'm really, Alan's pushing hard, and I think he's right. So I think I'm going to dig out my artificial insemination equipment, and I'm going to play with that a little bit.
Start giving classes. I saw someone offering classes for artificial insemination. It's 3-day course for $750 US.
Yeah, I haven't done it. So I've only done it once, and you know, actually it was down here in the States. I went over and I did some with one of the individuals there a little bit, but that's an art. I mean, you don't do a whole bunch of those in an hour. I mean, you know, by the time you knock the queen out, you get her in there, and then everything's all with the little tools and stuff. You I don't know.
You should consider coming to the convention. Sue Kobe is coming out to our convention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When is yours this year?
It's later. It's 5th and 6th, I think, of March. It's the first weekend of March.
Got her. Well, that actually might work out pretty good because
Jamie Ellis and Sue Kobe are the speakers coming in.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to hit you up. You got a spare room?
Got the guest room all warmed up for you.
I am heading down to the boat, so my poor boat. It's the only one that's still high and dry there. Everything else is gone. It looks like that poor thing is neglected in there. But my parts made it to Miami. They should ship out, I think this week, sometime this coming week. I think they should ship out. So it usually takes about 2 weeks to get them down to Grenada. So I can get back down there and get that put back together. So she's getting a little bit of an upgrade. So, you know, in typical James fashion. So all of the electricals getting pulled out. I got all new LED lights, all new wiring throughout the whole boat, all new switches, all new bus bars. So she's going to get completely gutted, and she's going to have a brand spanking new electrical system put on her. So new solar panels, new lithium batteries, new inverter. So I got to get it ready because I haven't figured out yet, but I'm going one way. I don't know if I'm going to go across the Atlantic or across the Pacific.
Cool.
But she'll be probably at least 22 days at sea. So a new adventure.
That right there, that's what a crazy person looks like.
You know, so well, you guys, you know me. I always say you got to try everything. So
well, and what I always say is there's a fine line between crazy and genius. I'm not sure what side of that line I'm on, but it's a fine line.
Well, I'm going to crisscross that line a few times, I'm thinking.
Kind of stepping both sides sometimes.
But yeah, so we'll be working on that. So I want to make sure she's 100% before I attempt that journey. So
you better.
But you know,
reading about you in the paper.
No, so but we'll do her right.
There's deep water there.
there's some incredibly deep water, even just around those islands. So I want to go north here in 2026. I want to go north to St. Vincent, Martinique, and Dominica. And there's actually a pod of humpback whales there that live there. And it's amazing what those things how deep they can dive, looking for those squid and stuff. But I want to go see that. I want to witness that. So, and then of course I've got them now thinking about flavoring their honey and stuff like that in Grenada. So they're working on that one too. So, but
trying to figure out how they would keep the temperature at the optimal creaming temperatures. I can't do it here, so I'm wondering what the challenge, unless they did it in a refrigerator, like they just had a walk-in freezer.
They have a bigger problem down there than to try and make the creamed honey, though. The problem they have is most of their flowers and nectar don't cream, so or at least don't cream easily, right? So. And there's not many canola fields down there. So, but the good news is they can make honey 365 days a year. There's always something that's in bloom or blossom down there.
No killer bees down there?
No, they do have the Africanized bees. Yep.
I was going to say I should move to a place like that and do queens all year round, but then you said killer bees, and I thought, well, screw it.
You can get them right here in my yard.
Not doing that.
So
no short pants in that yard.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either, because the first time I went down there was a whole pile of bees on some of the palm nuts, and you can just reach up. You can actually, some of the lower palm trees. So not thinking, it's like, well, I wonder what are these, like, carniolans? Are they Italian? Are they, what kind of a breed are they? So I reached up and I grabbed one of the palm blossoms. And of course, I'm looking at these bees, and they're kind of crawling all over my hand. So they're closer to the carnies, by the way, just for the record.
Okay.
But yeah, the people walking by, they were like, "Are you nuts?" And I didn't think anything of it. Of course, while I put the palm nut down and blew them off my hand, and off I walked, and their eyes were this big, and it's like, I'm a beekeeper. I had to know, right? But after thinking about it afterwards, yeah, they do have the Africanized gene and stuff like that down there. So, that could have gone really bad, I'm thinking. So, but yeah, everybody just thought I was absolutely crazy, which maybe I am. So.
I know a guy who spent last year, I think it was last year, he went to Honduras. I think it was Honduras. He went to kind of teach the local beekeeping community some of the stuff that he knew about bees that they didn't. And he said one of the most surprising things about those Africanized bees that they have is, he said they open a hive and all the bees leave. He said it's so easy to inspect a hive because there's no bees in it.
Yeah.
You just pull the frame out and there's no bees.
Wow.
But he said that it was kind of funny because here, the thing that we use, it's called a smoker.
Yep.
Right? Well, the smoker is a person.
No.
The smoker is the person, and the smoker is a really big thing. And the smoker's job is to make sure everybody is clouded in a cloud of smoke all the time.
There you go.
So they don't get the crap stung out of them.
They don't even use a smoker down there. They just it's a newspaper. If it's a palm leaf, they'll tie up really, really tight.
Oh yeah.
And that's what they use for a smoker.
Yeah.
But when I asked them how come, and then you start seeing what they have for equipment, it's not that they don't have them.
Not that they wouldn't use it if they had it.
Well, they would use it if they had it. They just can't afford them. They plain and simply can't afford them at all. So
yeah. Well, and that's what he was saying too. He said there's no fancy equipment at all. Yeah. Everything is made out of what you found in the bush.
But I do commend them a little bit on it. Now, not so much on not using a smoker or things like that. But everything is all hand cranked and hand turned out. So I do commend them on that a little bit. You know, like when I told them I've got a 60 frame extractor, they were dumbfounded, but they were dumbfounded not that I'm turning out 60 frames at a time, that I wouldn't employ people to keep people employed. So, you know, that's what they do down there, and I do commend them for that. You know, the fact that rather than automating it, of which they could automate it.
Make jobs.
Instead, they don't automate it, and
Yep.
they make jobs. So
Yep.
I do commend them for that. Like that is, yeah. When you stop and think about it,
People probably appreciate the jobs, and so they show up to work.
They do, yeah.
Right. Which is probably the biggest argument for automating and getting rid of jobs, because you know, if the people that show up, there's people are supposed to do that job don't show up to work, then you're kind of screwed.
There's a rum factory down there, but they still make the rum the same way they did back in the 1800s. You know, sure, they could do it a whole lot more modern, and everything is done by hand. So they bottle it by hand. And the only thing that they don't do anymore by hand is the testing of the rum itself. You know, I think people just
volunteer.
Well,
they do it by mouth.
You know, that's exactly why they don't do it that way anymore, right? But everything else is all done. Like they wash the bottles by hand, they fill the bottles by hand, they cork the bottles by hand, they seal the bottles. The labels go on one at a time, and that rum factory employs 90 people. You know, it's nice to see
awesome.
that people still value people's jobs, and they do. They make less money because of it, but they employ more people. So there's something to be learned from that too. So
I think I'm going to end the live stream at over 2 hours. I appreciate everybody dropping in. Thanks everybody coming in the chat and on the screen, and everybody on the screen, just sit tight, and we'll just end the live for tonight. I appreciate
you. Safe, everyone.
Woodshop Live.
Talk to everybody later.
See you later.